Hey everybody, Chris with Quilter Labs. Today I'm excited to announce we're launching a new update to the Elevate Intuitive Guitar Engine web app. The cool factor here is there is so much that you can do in terms of architecting and sculpting whatever sound you want to create out of the Elevate. And on top of that, I want to show you, and we'll do that actually first, how you can install this as a native application on your Windows PC. I think you can do this on a Apple, but today I'm working on a Windows PC, and so that's what we're going to get. Maybe I'll follow up with how to do this on your Mac. Okay, starting out from the beginning, go to your Google Chrome, head on over to the Elevate page on Quilter Labs, go down to Resources. Once you have the web app up and running, click that three dots on the right. Click Cast, Save, and Share. And down here, you'll actually notice when you click on that, it says Install Quilter Labs Elevate. That yes, you can click it, you can install it. And when you do, you notice it kind of popped up and covered the screen over. But that is now no longer a web application that's running. In fact, if we look on Control Panel and hit F5, we'll actually notice it's installed as a program now on our system. So pretty cool, actually. This year for NAMM, we're actually running 8 separate workstations. So for those of you that are coming to NAMM and want to check it out, come on over. You can plug in, try it out. We're actually going to announce something right after the new year. Really fun that we're doing at NAMM. We're looking forward to seeing you there. And there'll be prizes. Beat that. Everyone loves prizes. Okay. Let's go ahead and run this now as an app from our Windows. So notice that it's actually right here on my recently added. I can click it, and yes, it functions not as a web browser, now as a fully native application. Let's put that in full screen mode, and this way we can kind of roll through and take a look. I just zoomed in a little bit so we can see a little better. Okay. So what do we got going on here? Starting from the beginning, we went right to the Manage Device tab, and under that we have information, user lists. So in this case, I've actually created a couple of lists as I was going through getting ready for this video. I've added some user presets. In this case, I've downloaded and installed several of our Elevate preset packs. But this gives you the basics of what is going on your device. What hardware version am I using? What firmware version am I using? What's the backup firmware? Because you always keep the last version of your firmware installed by default. And there's some other kind of cool stuff. So we can back up our device from the Manage Device tab that's up top now. If I click Create Backup, that will actually create a backup of the 61. In this case, I have 61 presets that are on there. And I recommend doing this from time to time anyway, because it's just like any device, it's a good idea to keep a backup of it. So that downloaded, and restoring it really is just as simple as going and getting your backup, clicking open, and it will go through that process of restoring all the presets. It actually does a factory reset on the device, completely wipes it, and then freshly installs all of your presets back onto the device. And that's kind of it. You can switch back to your backup firmware if you have some problem with the new firmware. So that function exists even on the natively installed web app. We also have control of our global parameters. So output levels, you can change your headphone output or your line out right from the web app. You can turn your line EQ on or off and make adjustments to it, again, via the web app. And we can actually go in from a global standpoint to bypass, which is up here on the top. Once I click that, you'll actually notice on the device itself that the recall button A and B has disappeared, and it's telling you that, hey, we're in bypass mode. So I'm going to deactivate that, and we can see the light came back on a recall button. Okay, moving on to Preset Manager. This is where all the fun happens. So we have, of course, 100 factory presets, and you'll actually notice now that every factory preset actually has a little F next to it, letting you know, hey, that's a factory preset. You can't actually change or overwrite that factory preset. You can change it and save it as a new preset. Perfectly okay. So for example, if I were to come in here and enable, and notice that it actually turns on the light on the device at the same time that I click enable up here, and I were to make some changes to it, if I wanted to get fancy and, I don't know, change all sorts of things about it, I can click save, and now it allows me the option to save it as new. It won't just save that as a preset because it's a factory preset and it doesn't want me to modify that. Okay, scrolling on down from there, user presets will also have now a little trash can icon. So if you've created a bunch of presets as you were experimenting with the device when you first got it, and you're like, man, I would kind of like to ditch some of those presets now. Well, that's how you do it. You can come in here on the device and just click delete preset, and then it will give you the option to do that. Now, I'm not going to do that because I'm getting this device ready for the NAMM show. Okay, so that's the basics of the display and all of your digital effects blocks up here. We're going to dive into a little bit about A and B and how we can switch between A and B. And we're going to go through and actually create a new preset, in this case for acoustic, because I've been playing acoustic guitar a lot lately. And I want to walk through kind of how you can build or craft a preset. And today we'll do it for acoustic guitar on the web app. I have example favorites that comes by default with your pack. I think I added this one in accidentally to it just a few minutes ago. This is my training as I was working through getting ready for this training video. Acoustic guitar, because I was playing around with my acoustic guitar. But let me show you something kind of cool here. That 3 little dots here opens up a dialog box that allows us to come in and create new set lists. So gig, I don't know, 12/4/2025. So let's say I got a gig on 12/4/2025. I click that little plus button up here after I give it whatever name I want to give it. And there it is. When I select it, because I just created it, there's no presets in this list. So let's say I'm going to, oops, I accidentally put it in twice. Did it again. Just click one time. Oh, I'm doing this all as an example. So let's just say these were the songs in my list. Birds of Fire, Limelight, Tom Sawyer. Man, I'm combining Rush songs. Comfortably Numb, Enter Sandman, Cowboys from Hell, Sweet Child of Mine. So if I close this, I can actually hit this drop down now and go to my gig 12/4/2024, and we can see all those things that I've already put in there. I can reorder those from here, and that's what this little button allows me to do here. So if I want to move Enter Sandman, I click that, and now I can move that up to the first song. So if we change our set list around, now I can reorder that set list. And by enabling it here on the device, it's actually selected that list on your Elevate as well. So going on from there, I can go back through in here and delete these or rename them if I only needed that thing temporarily because it was 1 gig for one night, but I want to use that set list for another thing. I can just rename it. Knock yourself out. Okay. Up here next to that, we have this little function called Add Preset. So if I click that, now I can go back and add some more presets, maybe Back in Black. Are You Gonna Go My Way? There we go. I've added them now. So you can do this from the dialog preset list editor, or you can do it right from the preset list that you're on at that time. This one up here allows you to remove the presets, and of course, you can only delete presets from the user list. So anytime you're on all presets like this, I cannot necessarily delete the preset. Okay, just to the right of there, I have import and export presets. This will actually allow me to obviously select a file to import if I have a file available to do that. Or we can export. So let's just say I wanted to export Lagrange, or actually let's pick a user preset. So we'll export Neve R&D. We'll export it. Actually, we'll call it Neve preset. Export selected. Yep, we're exporting that Neve preset. So now if I were to go back in here and find that preset, which should be somewhere down here, and delete that bad boy, we'll confirm it's deleted. And it's gone from my all presets list. So I can import it again. Neve preset. If I want to import it to a list, I can, but there you go. I've ready to go, and I've imported that preset. And just like that, now that preset will come right back, although in this particular case, it's going to move it to another part of the list. And it removed it from my acoustic guitar list. Okay, Let me go find it now down here. I'm going to go ahead and move that preset more or less back to where it was before. Somewhere around there. And just like that, I'm able to move that on my all presets list. It's now missing from my acoustic guitar list. And of course, that's because I deleted the original preset. Once a preset's gone, it comes right off the list. Remember, lists aren't different versions. They're just a list of the presets that you've already created. So if you delete a preset, it's coming off every list that it's on as well. Let's add that back on to this list. So let's click this little button up here and we'll go through to acoustic guitar, scroll down until we find that preset again, and we'll throw it back on there. If I can find the thing. Oh, actually, here's another cool thing we can do. Let's just search for it. And just like that, it's back on my list again, and I can move it roughly to where I want it. Close, and now we'll actually see it once again back on my acoustic guitar preset list. So it's a pretty powerful tool for getting what you're after. Let's dig in though now, and we'll start from scratch. Let's create a new preset. We're going to call this App Training Acoustic. I'll just say ACC since we only have 16 characters. Okay, scrolling down all the way. We've selected the app training for acoustic guitar. In this particular case, I want to do something kind of cool, and I want to show you another function. We can replace the A or the B by simply copying it from another preset. So let's just say you want to make some subtle changes to a given preset that you already have. You can create a new one. For example, my app training acoustic. Okay, let's talk a little bit about some of the functions that you can do both on the device itself and in the app as well. So this little guy up here next to A and B, these allow you to select between A and B, but this little button here allows us to do something kind of cool. We can import a preset variant. So let's say I have something I really like Cathedral Reverb, right? That's the A side of Cathedral Reverb. I can import that into my training preset that I'm creating. Instead of having to build my own, I can just copy that one and click import, close that. And now that's exactly the same thing as the Cathedral Reverb A. There's no difference whatsoever. So really simple way for you to quickly and easily import variants. Okay, let's say I want to change the B variant. I can do the same thing basically. Come in here, pick out a variant, and let's find something fun. In the Cave. We'll do In the Cave into the B version of that variant. So just like that, the B version of that now. The A version is still that other version of the reverb that we created. And so you see how you can easily take existing presets and use them to create new presets. So rather than having to go back and reinvent the entire wheel, I'm able to quickly and easily just copy onto a preset that I'm creating the things that I like from existing presets. And now that I have it in its own preset, I can go in here and make modifications to it while not changing the work that I've already done on some other ones here. So let's just say I wanted maybe a little more pre-delay. Maybe I wanted a little less tilt. If I want to compare it to the original, and if I'm like saying, no, I liked it the way it was, just click revert. It goes right back. So that way you have full control completely from the app of anything you might want to do on the device itself. So again, we're totally excited about this because now everything that existed on, well, okay, there's still maybe a few little Easter eggs left on the device for you to play around with, but the app is a reflection of everything that you can do on the device for the most part. All that being said, thanks so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and let us know what you'd like us to make more videos on. And we'll hop right on that. We're working really hard to get ready for NAMM right now. And I always like to tell people we're a little shop, so do be patient with us. We just had a big shipping month, and we're really trying hard to keep up right now. So, all right, guys, take care. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you on the next edition of Elevate Foundations.